Do all your character traits carry over? All your faults, all of your positive, progressive movements in your life transfer over to your children and their children's children in a biological way? Well, this movie is kind of asking that in a sort of art house exploitative film that is in the vein of sort of a Jodorowsky and Arabal film, but strictly Japan. And it's its first time on Blu-ray, so we're going to talk about it right now. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void. My name is Alex, and today we are going to be doing a spoiler-free review and an unboxing of a movie for the first time in the Western audiences on Region A and B, Dogra Magra. Now, this is the reversible side that I've got, the actual original cover for the film, and I kind of like the artwork on that. I like the other artwork as well. It's a red one, but I just wanted to kind of show this one off. This is a movie that is very different than a lot of people are going to like, and I'm just going to be upfront with you here. If you're not into art house, you're not into exploitative, you're not into surrealistic, deep thinky, metaphoric movies, it's not going to be for you, okay? This one's going to be a little bit on the headier side. I think some people are going to love this, and some people are going to absolutely think it's the most boring thing ever. Even if there is really pretty images, they're going to be a little different about it. So I just wanted to give you that a little bit up front. The director of this movie actually was a fan of the novel that first came out, which Yumino Kuyosako did the novel of Dogra Magra in like 1935. The director of this movie wanted to put that out for a very, very, very long time. Some of the stuff in there is a little dated, and obviously he tries to modernize it in this movie as best that he can, but that book never reached the Western audiences ever. It's never been translated into English that I know of. At least that's what I was told in the extras on this movie. It's kind of like being in purgatory or the afterlife and sort of seeing your life fold out. There's a lot to go into this story. A lot of it is just rooms of people talking about their past and who they are. And I'll get into all of that first. I'm going to explain all my thoughts on this movie, my review, so to speak, spoiler free. And then we'll get into all the extras and all the special features that are on this disc that I think some people are going to absolutely love and others are going to just hate because some people just don't have the tolerance for these types of film. I am an outlier on that, and I like to put myself through a lot of different stuff. But let's talk about it. Dogra Magra is a movie that is based off a novel from many years ago. It's essentially about this kid who killed his bride on the day before their marriage. He goes insane. They put him in a mental hospital, and he wakes up in an asylum with no memory of who he is or what he looks like or anything. Like, he has amnesia to the 10th degree. He's left in the hand of these two mysterious doctors who are kind of playing games with him, it feels like, in the movie. And they kind of relate his condition to some sort of biological identity that has been passed on from generation to generation. And it's this scroll that he saw when, you know, he was a kid, and it made him go crazy, almost like it was like the Necronomicon or something like that. But really, it's just kind of like the artwork that one of his ancestors did. It gets a little exploitative, like I said, so there is some sexploitation and, you know, some weird stuff in it, but it's also very much an art house film. Arabal, who did the Viva la Muerte movie, which I just recently did, has a lot in common with this movie as far as the Oedipus complex, which is that of somebody who admires their mother so much that they fantasize about her in that way, you know, the Freudian way. But both of these films have that in it. And there's that sort of exploitative nature of the violence and nudity and things like that in the film that might be unappealing to some people for that reason. But it's not as bad as this one. I thought this one was way more intense and crazy, specifically at the end of the movie. This one is more of a surrealistic sort of movie. On the paper here, a lot of people say they're comparing it to DOA, Memento, and Shutter Island. Shutter Island I could kind of see a little bit here because this kid has such amnesia that he doesn't remember anything, and so you're not sure if he's dead, alive. These doctors are dead or alive. Like, there is a lot of weird camera changes. The setting just switches from one take to the next. There is some very beautiful iconography done in the film that is just shot so well. Watch the trailer yourself and you'll see what I mean. That's what made me interested to begin with, because I was like, man, this is a beautiful film. And it really is. Now, a lot of the dialogue is going to be solely surrounded around like a couple of characters in a room for like 85% of the movie. The rest is going to be kind of like, you know, going back to some other time or an ancestor, and then kind of using that surrealistic nature to kind of put you in sort of a state of suspense and wonder. Again, this is going to be for a few people and not everyone, and that's okay, because that's how art house films can be sometimes. They're specifically for a little bit more of a heady audience because of the dialogue and the long talking segments that they have in this, but there is artistry done with the visuals here in a lot of different ways. They do different colors. There's wonderful static shots with like people running in the background. It's done very well. It also does it to kind of isolate you and feel like you're in this surrealistic nightmare for this kid who doesn't know who the hell he is and is trying to figure it out. I did enjoy this film, but I think people who are not really into these kind of slow, talky kind of movies are going to hate it. And those who can open themselves up to a little bit more dialogue heavy stuff and like surrealistic stuff that has a little exploitation and is kind of like an art house film, although not as surrealistic crazy. It's a little bit more grounded, but they do have those moments throughout the film. It could be very high for those people, and some people love this film. It is the first time it is on Blu-ray, so if you're into Japanese culture and want to know more about films that have kind of pushed the boundaries a little bit in the art world, this might be one you might want to pick up. But for me, I would say this is about a 6 out of 10. It didn't really light me up, but there's moments in the film that I really do see the brilliance of it, and the story is really good if you can lock in. If you're unable to lock into a movie, this is going to be really hard for you, and you're going to have to keep going back. But you know, it's very subtle, and you can still watch this film and still enjoy it if you are into these types of films. It's out today, so if you want to pick it up, there's a link down below for Dogra Magra. I'm going to get into all the extras and all the special features on this. I'm sorry I'm late, by the way, on this one. I've just had a lot of life stuff going on, and I'm ready to get started and get things done again. So, but let's get into it. Dogra Magra is a pretty film. Radiance always does a really good job of making everything look really fancy. I'm going to show you the reversible side. You know, we got the slip here that has the barcode on it. This is the new cover. This is the old cover, actually. I'm sorry. And this is the new cover, which I think a lot more people are probably going to lean this way. Very surrealistic, kind of nightmarish. On the inside, we got the Dogra Magra disc with the Radiance on the bottom there. There is also a booklet that comes with this that I'll briefly go over. It has cast and crew. We got a director's statement by Toshio Matsumoto from 1988. There is also a late period Toshio Matsumoto and Dogra Magra from 2024 by Hirofumi Sakamoto. The pen is mightier than the sword. The life of Atsushi Yamamotoya from 2024 by Jasper Sharp. The memory traces interview with producer Shuji Shibata from 2023 by Alexander Fee and Karen Yamamoto, and the transfer and credits on that contents. So just to kind of give you a little bit of an idea there of all the different stuff that you can see in this booklet here, there is quite a bit. You get some of the original artwork and posters and things that they had for these sort of story about why it was created, how long it took. Like I said, the director never was able to get the, movie made right away. So he tried for decades to get it made. just passed away, by the way, in 2017. So we do have some extras on this that I'm going to go over with you now. Audio commentary. This is, of course, a high definition transfer by director of photography Tatsuo Suzuki and producer Shuji Shibata. Audio commentary by director Toshio Matsumoto from 2003. We have an interview with Toshio Matsumoto from 2003. It's about 21 minutes. Visual essay by programmer and curator Julian Ross from 2024. Instructions on Ahodara Sutra, a popular Japanese chant delivered by Dr. Masaki. There's a sequence in the film where they do this sort of like dance and ritual thing in the middle of the movie, which is just really random because it's just a surrealistic kind of movie. They also have a trailer, new and improved English subtitles in here, artwork by Time Tomorrow, and only 3,000 copies of this. So if you have any interest in this whatsoever and you want to pick up a copy for yourself to see a little bit of history and see what the West was missing out on Dogra Magra, then you might want to pick it up. 3,000 isn't that much. But yeah, Radiance obviously putting out a really great film. The picture quality was really good. The audio quality was very good as well. It is in mono, of course. The aspect ratio is 185:1, so it is pretty big on the screen. But yeah, not something I'm going to watch a whole lot of, but for those of you out there that like this kind of thing, shout out in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you and what you think. Did you get a copy of this? Have you seen this? Or is this the type of movie that you like? Let me know in the comment section down below. That's everything, guys. Thank you so much for coming by. I got more on the way for this season, end of the season here, and I'm going to be pounding a lot of movies, so there's going to be breaks in between. Just keep your eye out. I've got some more stuff on the way, and if you're watching this video wondering, hey, wasn't he supposed to review? I'm getting to it, I promise. Thank you so much for coming by and supporting this channel. It means the world to me, and every view goes a long way to help me reach more viewers. We've already hit 7,000, so thank you for that. If you know somebody that would like to see this video, please share it with them. And as always, long live the void.